Why is the Mormon Church buying up so much farmland? Holds value. They aren't making more land. Churches are just tax-exempt businesses. It's smart. They gotta be able to farm in the end times, bruh. Keep the messes at ease. You want Reddit to answer this, my guy? When you believe that hard times are ahead, good will be needed, and that you can stockpile food, you buy farmland and stockpile food. You can also send stockpiled food to disasters when they happen. Is there honestly anyone here who objects to that? They are apocalyptic preppers. A couple of reasons. One, it's a place to invest money, and the church has a lot to invest. It's actually not that uncommon. Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos also own a ton of farmland across the US. Two, it aligns with the church's values. It's a church that believes in self-sufficiency and being good stewards. Being a farmer is getting harder and harder in the US. The costs are high and the profit margins are low. By doing this, the church can support farmers by leasing at reasonable rates. My personal conspiracy theory is that the Mormon Church is secretly the wealthiest private organization in the world. Disclosure requirements are much less than for securities like stocks. It is hard to know how much they have. Probably for the same reason that Bill Gates bought a huge amount of farmland a few years ago. He is one of the biggest landholders in the country now. And the reason that BlackRock is buying up land. They just need somewhere to park their cash, and since they are a church, I believe they don't have to pay taxes on their land holdings. I've dealt with them on a curious land title issue several years ago, and they were very accommodating. I can't imagine there is anything nefarious to their purchases. Follow-on questions here. Because they are a church, will they be required to pay the property taxes on all this land they own? The farmland ownership has little to do with Mormon proclivities to hoard food. Rather, over a long time span, farm ownership is like a super awesome bonds that pays small dividends till it has large cash events when it's sold for development or the water rights are sold. Simply put, they own it because it's more profitable than their 150 billion stock portfolio. Bill Gates also owns lots of farmland for similar reasons. Don't they own Safeway too? And it's supposed to merge W. Kroger? So the Mormons are just gonna control all our food? Money laundering, kind of. Basically, religious institutions can do pretty much whatever they want with their money. They are tax exempt, and some weird statutes make it really difficult to audit churches. They also don't exactly need to pay people to work there. They can volunteer. But regardless, the whole operation is tax exempt, so when they can't find enough volunteers, they'll probably go the usual route of undocumented migrant workers. Churches use their money for lots of weird shit. The obvious one is that they are basically a huge sex trafficking ring, but other churches tend to fund political causes in foreign nations as well. The Moonies are funding anti-communist paramilitary groups in Nicaragua, for example. But at the end of the day, it's just a business they don't need to pay taxes on. Not that many acres. That's until some belters take it. The Mormons own pretty much all the land between I-95 and Orlando in central Florida. We are talking about hundreds of thousands of acres. They bought it a long time ago when the value has exploded. There's talk of them selling some of it to build houses, and it's not a popular plan given the location. So they can eventually annex it to cities and develop it into real estate. Oh, that's after they get their members to work on the land for years on the cheap. I hope it's to grow and sell organic food at affordable prices. Better them than China.